For nearly 100 years, Cardis has distinguished itself by offering an extensive selection of beautiful home furnishings, great prices, unparalleled customer service, and folks, I want to tell you this, unmatched community involvement. No, let me do this. Nobody beats out their Nairobi prices. No, but please do it one time for me, please. Nobody, I love it, beats their unmatched community involvement. What a pleasure it is to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Pleasure.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. We're listening to you on the way in. It's so exciting. This is just great. This is going to be an amazing weekend. We're so excited. And you're going to be there too.
I'm more than honored. I'm more than honored to help the children, and what you do at Cardis to help support these children is, again, there's no measure of gratitude that we can give you.
We've already been, you know, the gratitude is just being involved, so we don't look for any gratitude. The thing is to just be involved, and you just, anybody that gets involved in these types of organizations, as such as the Schwartz Center, will just, you'll get your own rewards. You don't need anybody to say thank you or do anything. They will, but the reality of it is that these people do just such fabulous work that, and all you got to do is go by there, and we've said it a million times, is that a lot of people wonder when they donate money or they donate their treasures or time or whatever it is they're going to do, they wonder where it goes.
Right.
Because a lot of times you send money somewhere and it goes, you don't know where it's going. Well, here, you can drive down the street, go into the facility, and see the people, see where your money's going, and 100% of it stays right here.
Surely.
So,
a very special year coming up, to a very special anniversary.
Yeah, you know, and they're talking about 40th anniversary for the Telethon. 40 years.
Wow.
So how long's TV been around? 50, something like
yeah.
that? So,
Wow.
So it's been a long time. And the Schwartz Center now, part of this whole process is going to be wild. So you're not only going to have live television, you're going to have live radio,
That's
and
right.
we're going to have live film. This is unbelievable. This is really cool. This is really cool.
It is such a pleasure, folks. Tell us more about the weekend, Channel 12, all the involvement.
Channel 12 will be there. They do the whole thing from, you know, from beginning to end. And they do just a fabulous job in bringing some of the celebrities that, of course, are not to your level, but some of them will be there. And they do such, they do a great job, and it's just fabulous to watch it. And then obviously this is going to be, if I'm using the right term, simulcast between, you know, here and in Providence. So both situations where Schwartz has joined teams, I should say, and now that they're both working on the same page and working together to try to bring these programs together to bring the professional services that are needed for these kids. So there's thousands of these children, and they're all right here in southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and they've just joined forces where they have a world-class organization helping these kids out.
Just like you, just like Cardis, absolutely. Tell us why did you ever want to get involved with Meeting Street?
Well, years ago, there was a whole process that went through. Meeting Street actually started in Providence, on the east side, a very small facility. And from there, they moved to East Providence. So they had kind of a chronology of how they did their thing. And us along the way, we've worked with stations for a long time. And Stu Giannini, who was the creative services director over at Channel 12, got us involved with them years ago and said, you know, this is unbelievable. Again, in the initial time, you know, when it first starts, it's like, well, what is that? Who is this? What's going on? But over time, and then he said, so get involved with it. So we've been involved with it for like 30 of the 40 years. So we've been involved with this for a long time. And so for a variety of ways that we've been involved with it, now in an extremely big way, to bring this together. And the biggest thing, Phil, is not only, you know, you think of it, you hear it, Meeting Street School, Schwartz Center, school, kids, daytime, but it's far beyond that. And when we got to see the facility, this is what really hooked us. Because, okay, you bring the kids in, your child has varying abilities, needs some help. Great, you go to the school, you do your thing. You know, 3 o'clock the bell rings, the kids go home, on the bus, whatever. But no, these centers take the approach of helping the family, going to the home, figuring out, okay, you've got a child that has these abilities, but needs this support in the house so that everything works. And that's the key of making the whole process work. Because they not only work just during the school year, it's year-round, and their counselors go out into the field. So it's a wonderful involvement. So seeing that firsthand, yeah, it hooks you. And
this is the reason why, folks listening right now, this is the reason to reach into your hearts, reach into your pockets and help.
Well, you know, it's interesting because a lot of times you will reach into your pocket and help something, and you, again, not to be repetitive, but you don't know where it went. In this particular case, it's not only what Peter just said, because it's so true, it's right on the money in terms of the way he articulated it. It goes a step further because you make these people productive members of society.
Right.
So you do it out of your heart and the kindness, however, also do it out of, because you want a better society that we live in the respect that not as much of the federal government helping and doing what they need to do. You want these people to be tax-paying members of society, and that's what these people are great at. They take each person and bring them to the furthest point that they can, so that they can do whatever job God's given them the ability to do. So they really do a fabulous job, and that's why you want to do it. You want to do it to make all society better.
Nairobi here. Where's the other member of our Nairobi celebrity?
he's on the other side of the water.
He's over there?
Yep.
Not in the same rowboat that your aunt bought you.
No, not that one, but no. But
Good memory, good memory.
Very cool, very cool.
We are talking about something that is truly very cool, and that is a telethon that reaches into our hearts. How many of you listening right now have known families who are associated, who have found the needs of the Schwartz Center, and how many of you now will think of that Saturday evening when we're broadcasting live and just show your love through support? That's it.
You know, and it's going to be easy. If you want to stop by to take, and they would love to have you come, they'd be more than happy to give you a tour and show you the Schwartz Center. If you would prefer, and you're out to dinner or you're out to a show and you don't have time, but you have the kindness in your heart to help, then you'll be able to do it by cell phone, you'll be able to do it by text, you'll be able to do it by email. You can do it whichever way you wish. Sure. So there will be no excuses, assuming that you want to participate.
Right.
And they welcome any denomination. It's not like, you know, well, I can only afford $1 or $10 or $1,000. You give whatever you can afford. And that's what it's all about, is getting a lot of people involved. It's not so much the dollar amount, although
Sure.
if you have the wherewithal, you know, we'll take it.
Absolutely. And plus there's an online auction.
The auction's a lot of fun, Phil. I mean, there's pages of stuff. It's really cool. You get to say, get a shopping spree. You can go to the spa. You can go to sporting events. Donate to Schwartz. You get to go to the game. And you get to write it off. This is America, baby. This is good. This is great. So everybody wins. It's an amazing thing, you know. Because last year, and we do a shopping spree. It's $5,000, and
Yeah.
we don't get anything out of it. We give it to the facility each year,
Beautiful.
and it usually goes for more than what face value. And it's amazing. So somebody said, well, why would someone pay more than that? Well, number one, it's a tax deduction because, you know, they're doing their thing. But the bigger thing is they're helping the kids. That I make light of it, and I'm not sure what the true accounting things are. I'm
Right.
making a joke. But the bigger thing is that money stays here, stays local, and you get a great thing in return. So what else could you ask for?
You betcha. With Cardis, you know, folks, you see Nick, Ron, and Pete all the time on television. In fact, we just saw your commercial just on the Roadie show here. Folks, there's going to be a lot of others showing up. We want you to participate, either there or through the phone lines. That's what we're saying. And also know that we want to thank Citizens Bank, because they're part of this too, right?
Absolutely. Citizens has been a sponsor for many years, and they step to the plate all the time. They're a fabulous bank, fabulous organization, and they understand what community is all about. They definitely give back.
And do we have to wait until telethon night to give?
No, you can do it right now. If you go online, schwartzcenter.org, or meetingstreet.org, either one of the websites. And they're there, and they'll list, so you can do it right online now, either from your cell, from your smartphone, or from a laptop, or however you do it, or giving a call. Again, just check them out and do it. You know, the other couple of groups, if we could just mention, Phil, if it's okay, is supporters really of the Schwartz Center for years and years. Tom over at Tom Clark at Clark Kitchen Center, C Street, and the Harbor One Bank also. These guys do a fabulous job. They've helped out. They have a huge fishing tournament in the summertime.
Yes.
Wonderful people, and you know, Tom Cox is a heck of a guy. Does a great job, and they really help. And just as you said, how you get involved. And he told us a story that I think his wife had seen something or been there or been at an event and said, you know, hey, you should get involved. Let's go see this place. And once he got in there and walked through, that was it.
Absolutely.
Hooked.
Folks, hooked. I love that. We're going back to the rowboat.
There we go.
No pun intended.
Oh, folks, if you only knew the good that emanates from Meeting Street, from Schwartz Center, now combining so that they can expand their services with the help of Cardis and your generosity.
Well, it's everyone's generosity, but the main thing here is that you don't have to believe us. We want you to, but we don't have to. You can see it.
Yes.
You can touch it. You can walk in there, and that's the important thing. So many people send money all over the world. They have no idea where it ends up. In this particular case, it's going directly to the people that need it. 100% of it, by the way. There is no calculated discount in terms of the amount that ends up in their hands. All of it's going directly to them.
You bet. And without them, folks, well, all I can say is, listeners, count your blessings, because without the Schwartz Center meeting place, you know, life becomes something else of a struggle, and thank God we have them. And there go you, but for the grace of God. So just know that this is all about community, and nobody does it better than Cardis.
You're very kind.
Nobody does it better. Nobody.
Yeah. And well, you know, the great thing too, Phil, people are going to be able to hear about it because you'll be there telling about everything you're seeing that night, which is wonderful. People driving around that night or just at home listening to the radio. Or if they've got the TV on, they'll be able to see the stories and how all this, so they'll be able to take that virtual tour, so to speak.
Sure.
So that's what it's all about.
You're going to be there?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there early. We're going to get there about 7 to about 8:30 or so. Then we've got to boogie over to Providence. So we're going to do both. So
in both locations?
Yeah. So
unbelievable.
same day I delivery, baby. We move it.
I love it. I love it. I really do. Oh, what didn't I ask that you'd like our listeners to be aware of, to take away from our conversation about the importance here?
I think that there's really, you've touched on every point. You're very articulate, you're very intelligent, you've done a fabulous job. We couldn't ask for any more, and we really appreciate it. I think the main thing, the points to take home is that it's easy, it's painless, and it helps your own community. And it's something that at whatever level, and again, I want to stress this because a lot of people say, well, gee, I don't have $1 million or 100,000, but I've got 1,000 or 100 or whatever the number is, whatever the denomination is. And it's a great learning tool, by the way, for a child to see this and to be involved in it, because a lot of times when we do the Toys for Tots with the Marines, we have people that it's generational now, where they've been taking their children in 3 generations ago with a toy to understand it's not all about them. And the first time that kid comes in, I did it with my own children, they cry because they've given up this new gift. Well, and then they start to get it after a couple of times. In this particular case, it's really no different. Yes. And if you teach them at a young age that which is what we were blessed with, our parents did to us, it's not all about you. Maybe just some days, but not every day. and you can do what you can afford to do. Again, that's the key here. So if it's $1 or 50 cents or $10 or whatever the number is, then that's what makes it go. And what they really want in both these organizations also is for people to spread the word. And that's critical to them, because you'd be surprised how many people come here from all over the United States and all over the world to see both these organizations. Both these organizations, even though all this money is going to stay here, they're internationally known, they're world class, and they come here to learn, because this is not unique to the United States. This is around the world. So the reality of it is we've been blessed with some great organizations, and so if you donate, it's going to stay local, but it's also going to put your town on the map.
And great doctors as well. The founders.
The best.
And the best, you're right. And you bring me back now to, oh gosh, maybe 35, 40 years ago, doing telethons. Now I will have ladies with children in their hands come up to me and say, Phil, do you remember me? And I'll say, please refresh my memory.
Help me out here.
They'll say, I was 6 years old when my mom brought me on to the telethon, and it just fills my heart. I say, oh my gosh, it is generational. Good begets good. So, absolutely. That's a great feeling. Absolutely.
The other thing too, sometimes we think we're having a bad day, Phil. We get up and we go, do I want to get out of bed? Do I want to push myself today because I need to do this at work, or I need to do this with the organizations that I'm working with, supporting my church or my synagogue or whatever, they're asking me to do this, and you just feel like I don't want to do it. And when we run into that, what we try to do is, and this will happen at work sometimes, we'll say, let's go for a ride. We'll put a staff member in the car, drive down to Meeting Street or Schwartz Center. So let's take a walk through the school.
Wow.
So we'll walk through the school, then we'll go out, and then we'll look them in the eye and say, okay, you having a bad day? No, I'm having a great day. And as you said, therefore I go, and that's the thing, is that if you're blessed with great health, and you can walk and talk and do all the things that we so much take for granted on your own, and your children can, praise.
Amen.
Everyone. And now, if you can help with someone, that's great. And if you can do all that, there are no bad days.
Absolutely. Folks, if you see brightness out there, it's because these airwaves are filled with love, compassion, and goodness. Thanks to Cardis. How many years now? Almost, how many years in business?
Since 1928.
So a couple of years.
A few years.
You over 80.
You think?
Approaching 90.
You think? I also want to send out a very special thank you to Big Ben. You know that? But it's not the clock in England, is it, Big Ben?
He's going in his office.
Oh, he does!
There you go.
Huh? I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. Folks, please go there and join us and give and be a part of the goodness that is going to be generated by this. For nearly 100 years, this group, this company has been doing so much good, and I mean this from my heart. What you do with your business and customer service is equaled with what you do with community involvement, because it's authentic, it's from the heart. It doesn't come better than that.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, very kind.
Nairobi, one more. Nobody. We'll be back. Don't go away, folks.